Well, that's the hope. That I'm still following the rules.
Good evening. Good evening and welcome to the National Sports Center Velodrome for another edition of Thursday Night Lights. We're thrilled to have you here with us this evening. We have a great slate of races going on the track tonight. If you haven't had a chance to grab some dinner, we have our Track Shack concession stand with a full lineup of hot food and cool treats. While you're there, be sure to check out our exclusive Nsc Velodrome t-shirt and trucker hat, available only here at the National Sports Center Velodrome.
Jason, the women's four missing out has changed. Wait, super sprints changed to a missing out. Also, it's not really put out at all, but could you announce to the riders that they have exactly 1 week to register for fixed gear, and for the first time there's a women's 4 and a men's 3-4.
We're going to kick things off tonight with our Category 1, 2, 3 women's field. They're going to be racing a tempo race. Tempo is a form of points race. It'll be 12 laps long, and we will provide 2 points to the first rider across the line in every lap, and 1 point to the second rider across the line in every lap. So the winner may or may not be the first person to cross the line at the end of the race, but certainly the winner of the race will be the rider who has accumulated the most points throughout the race. And riders in the infield, don't forget that you have 1 week remaining to register for the Fixed Gear Classic. There are races for all categories, so be sure to sign up. We have great fields coming from all over the world to race on our beloved boards. Nine riders have rolled up to the rail for our opening race this evening. While we're waiting for them to get started, let's get to know each other a little bit. How many of you are here for the very first time? Make some noise if this is your first time. Welcome. And I will presume that the rest of you are awake and have been here before, so welcome back, everybody. In just a little while, our volunteers will be coming through the grandstands with our racing sheets for the evening, which will provide you with your race schedule and rider list. Make sure, if you haven't, that you grab a game ticket, because you'll have a chance to bet on our events throughout the evening, and you'll need that gaming ticket to do so. And let's welcome to the rail, straight from Elite National Championships, Nicole Mertz, everybody. How you doing, Chris? This, you probably heard, but that super sprint for the floors is now also due to volume requirements. Yep. Here's, do you have heats for the care? Hey. I believe it.
See my partner and I'm like, can't get there. Shepherd Road.
We'd like to thank our sponsors, All City Cycles, a company of riders making products for other riders. NovaCare Rehabilitation is the proud provider of certified athletic trainers to the Velodrome's Thursday Night Lights races. We'd like to thank NovaCare for their support of velodrome racing. NovaCare, the power of physical therapy. Usually it's the power on the start that pulls a rider's wheel out of alignment. Currently, Nicole's got power even in the infield. Thank you very much.
It rains here.
Oh, I was looking. I'm surveying all around looking for you. I was just about to ask. For the very. So I have a picture of the heats, the schedule, the start list.
So this first lap is a neutral lap, we call it. It's designed to allow the field to gather itself into a nice, tightly packed bunch. And if they are well grouped together, our starter Jeff will send them on their way with a gunshot. There we go. So our first lap of the tempo is now underway, and it's Risa Husted, rider number 9, on the front. Right behind her, Nicole Mertz. Husted still controlling the tempo. Remember, 2 points for the first rider across the line, so it'll be rider number 9. Then rider number 97, taking 2, then 1. Now Mertz will take over on the front, and Husted is right beside her. We're side by side as we go through the north turn. Husted starts to wind it up just a little bit, but she's got a longer distance to travel. But Hillary Wild's going to make a move. So rider number 5 is going to go first, then rider number 9. So 2 for Wild, 1 for Husted, giving her 3 and leading the race. Now we got a new entrant on the front. That's Dana Zakowski. So Zakowski 30, and then 271 Johnson are going to collect 2, then 1. Still Husted in front with 3 points. Now Anna Svidan getting in the mix. The Zubas rider going alongside Zakowski, and it's going to be 4, then 30. So tie for first place now, as Dana Zakowski, number 30, moves into a tie with Risa Husted. Svidan still on the front now, charging hard to the line. And Svidan's going to get 2 more. That's going to give her a tie with Zakowski, who picks up another one. So we've got 4 points for 2 riders. And now Zakowski's going to move her way above the red into the front. And she's going to dive down into that sprinter's lane. So Zakowski, 30, picks up another 2, then Svidan with 1. So it's 6-5. Still Zakowski on the front. Svidan sitting in second wheel, but there's some movement in the field behind those 2. Who's going to come to the line first? Ooh, it's going to be Husted, 9, then 30. So Dana now with 7 points, rider number 30. And Risa Husted has 5. Now it's Nicole Mertz, 297, picking up 2 more. So he's number 97. She has 3 for the race. And Risa Husted now has 6. Now Mertz on the front. So number 97 is going to grab 2 more. That'll give her 5. Husted will pick up 1 more. That's 7. She now is tied for the lead. Still Mertz in the lead at the moment. They're going to see 2 laps to go when they come around. And it's still Mertz in control. She's going to grab 2. That's 7 for the race. Husted's going to grab 1 more. That's 8. She's got sole control of first place at the moment. But Mertz is adding an extra point every single lap. So rider number 97 appears to collect 2 on this penultimate sprint. That's 9 points for her. Risa Husted's got 1. That gives her 9. Now it's going to be a battle for the final sprint. These 2 riders going down the back straight. Mertz 97, Husted number 9. Both have 9 points. This is for all the marbles right here. Does Risa have enough to come around on top? We'll see as she charges through it. front. She will. Rider number 9 is going to pick up 2 for 11. Mertz is going to get 1 more for 10. So with that final surge out of turn number 4, the winner of the opening race this Thursday night rides for Taco Cat, and her name is Risa Houston. So Risa was doing the math that whole race. She caught a few points early, recognized that she needed to collect a few more along the way, and did a really nice job of working together with Nicole, saving just enough energy in that final sprint to come across the line in first place. Next down the rail, we have our Category 1-2 field. This is our highest level of racing in the men's field, as that first race was our highest level of women's racing here at the National Sports Center Velodrome. Nice field out here tonight. We've got 14 riders. All the heads of state are here with a couple of exceptions. Riders just coming back from elite national championships. A couple of Masters national champions out there. There's at least one junior national champion, and that junior national champion, Peter Moore, is on his way this weekend to Eigel, Switzerland to compete and represent the United States of America in the Junior World Championships. One of only 5 U.S. riders selected for that squad. There's the gun, and our 15-lap scratch race is in full effect. Ben Shinky on the front, riding for donkey label number 9. Andy Keogh, excuse me, that's Andy on the front. Now a big move by Laszlo Alberti right away. The Vision Racing rider quickly jumps out to a 10-meter lead. Tim Mulrooney, rider number 11 for Synergy, trying to bring things back together. He hands it over to Peter Moore, our Junior World Championships competitor. Grabs a hold of the back wheel of Alberti. And now he finds himself on the front with Jason Goldberg in pursuit. Quick tempo right out of the gate for this race. Mishi Richter continues to keep the speed very high as Peter Moore gets into the draft. Peter Olenicek, Daniel Casper, and Mulrooney make up that group of 5 at the front. And Andy Keogh trying to bridge across and make it an even 6-pack. Mishi Richter drops in once again. He's got Moore on the front now. Moore's teammate Casper, rider number 3. Right there. So riders number 2, 3, and 4 from last year's Track Rider of the Year competition, along with Satchel Mishi Richter, have about 20 meters on the first chase group with 9 laps remaining in the race.
There's my rag.
Yeah.
8 to go for Moore, Casper, Olenicek, and Mishi Richter. That's 2 kilometers on this 250-meter oval track. A kilometer is equal to 0.62 miles. So that means these riders have 1.2 miles American remaining in this race. And we got a little shakeup in the leadership as Peter Moore and Daniel Casper, the two donkey labels, find an extra kit. And Olenichek riding for the Bora squad, trying to get himself back in contact. He'll do so, and now it's Chad Weisstrom. Rider number 106 from Vision Racing. And so those four riders have seen 5 laps to go. We're 2/3 of the way through the race.
Oh, I know where I can get that. It's a Walgreens.
Casper in control of the tempo. It's a good solid team pursuit squad right there. Daniel Casper holds a world record in the team pursuit at the Masters level. So he knows exactly how to operate in this environment. 3 laps to go now. Just 750 meters remain in this opening scratch race for our Cat 1-2 field. Now Casper on the front one more time with Weisstrom, Moore, and Olenichek. Good smooth rotations off the front. Give these riders all a chance to take a breather, save their strength for this final lap. That's the bell, ladies and gentlemen. Out of the saddle goes Peter Moore. And he's roaring through the south turn into the back straight. Now comes Peter Moore. He's got some traffic coming up in the north turn. And he's going to ride hard to the line. And so rider number 2 from Donkey Label is going to take the opening win in our scratch race for the Cat 1-2 field. So ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Donkey Label's Peter Moore.
That was a good time. I know that one. Assuming you didn't like play it while I was.
If you haven't already, make sure you grab a racing sheet and a gaming ticket, because in just 2 races we will have our first game race of the evening, our Cold Stone warm-up. You'll have a chance to win a $10 gift certificate to Cold Stone Creamery Ice Cream. First, we're going to have our women's category 4 field come to the line. They'll be contesting a 12-lap point-a-lap. And that race is exactly what you might imagine. Every lap, we will award the first rider across the line a point for the effort. And we've got a couple of first-time racers out there on the rail tonight, so let's cheer on all of these women as they contest this first race on the track. There's the gun, and our point lap is underway. Right now it's Laura Schaefer, number 18, down in the sprinter's lane, riding for the hub. Right behind her is Brenda Kroll, riding for Corpse Whale Racing. Kroll trying to make a move, but Schaefer's still holding her off for the moment. Let's see, it's going to be very close to the line. Ooh, I think it's 18, but we'll wait for the... No, we're getting an incorrect signal from the tower. Brenda Kroll, 28, takes that first point. So Brenda Kroll just gets that point at the line. She's going to come through with clean wheels this time. She will grab her second points. Now we've got movement just above that red line. It's going to be close quarters coming in, but it's rider number 270. That's Christy Kraus grabbing that points. Now Sarah Matson starts to close the gap to Kraus. Kraus still with about a bike length of comfort so far, but we'll see if Matson's got a little extra kick to the line. It's going to be Kraus taking point number 2. And there's a tie in the bike race now, Brenda Kroll and Christy Kraus. This time it will be Matson coming through first, so rider number 101 picks up her first point for the race. Still tied. 2 riders each having 2 points. Matson on the front now, another new rider. Linnea Redinger starting to move forward out of the group. Good hard push by Redinger, but it's going to be Matson picking up point number 2. Now we have a 3-way tie. Matson on the front right now, but we've got some action from the Coachella squad. That's Ashley Von Edge now moving forward. She's going to try and put herself into the wind here, and she will do so. That's 63. Von Edge getting her first points. Even balance so far, as we've got 4 riders with points. 3 of them are tied for first place. Still Von Edge on the front. She's got about a bike length and a half, but quickly closing the gap is Redinger. She's going to try and come across first. She'll do so. Rider number 102, Redinger, grabs the points. So we've got a 3-way tie for first and a 2-way tie for fourth place. Redinger now on the front trying to put herself into a tie for first, but she's got Kroll right there in the rear view mirror. Kroll's working hard to try and come across, but she's got the long distance to go. It's going to be 102. Grabbing point number 2, and now we have a 4-way tie. Now Kroll, 28 from Corpse Whale, starting to move ahead. There are 3 laps left in the race. They'll see 2 when they come around here in their leadership position. It's still Kroll on the front, number 28. That's going to break the log jam at the top of the heap, giving her 3 points. Redinger dropping into the slipstream now. She's going to accelerate and pop up out of that sprinter's lane. Redinger is going to make a case for the top step of the podium here in this opening race for the Cat 4 field at the bell. It's Redinger moving to the front, so now it's 3 points for Redinger, 3 points for Kroll. And Redinger has a significant lead now as she rolls through. Ladies and gentlemen, Linnea Redinger just finished her introductory class on Sunday. Put your hands together for a brand new rider and a brand new winner, Linnea Redinger.
That's pretty damn good.
Bob?
No, Bob is, where is Bob? Down at by the recycling containers down at on the rail. Do you see him?
Yeah.
All right, you bet.
All right, everybody, you've got some work to do. This is the Cold Stone warm-up. So your job is to identify the rider that you think is going to win this race. Write that rider's name and bib number on your gaming ticket, and then write your name on that ticket as well. Please write legibly so that we can award the winner appropriately. Rider number 24 on the front is Joshua Schneider. Rider 97 behind him is Nicole Mertz. 22, Pat Whelan. 92 is Bogdan Rilski. 39, Lindsay Hamilton. 64, Glenn Barr. 44, Alex Terzic. 81 is Dan Schuler. 32, Brian Doherty. 20 is Alan Bellis. And rider number 42, I believe, is Eric Ware. So we got Schneider, Mertz, Whelan, Rilski, Hamilton, Barr, Terzic, Schuler, Doherty, Bellis, and Ware. Get those game tickets filled out. And when you have done so, please raise them high in the air so our volunteers know that you have completed your assigned responsibilities. If you successfully choose the winner, and you're lucky enough to have been awarded the lucky draw of the bucket, you'll win a $10 gift card to Cold Stone Creamery Ice Cream. All right, so get those game tickets high in the air. Now our intrepid volunteers will come through. I want to especially thank Amanda Harvey for being here tonight. She's actually sacrificing a race night to volunteer in the stands. Thank you, Amanda. Bob's here all the time. He doesn't get any credit. All right, last call, everybody. Last call for game cards. Raise them up high. All right, Jeff, let's rock and roll, huh? This is our Cat 3 field. They will be conducting a tempo race, just like the one we saw earlier, 2 and 1 for the first 2 riders across the line. You guys got to make some noise for your rider. They can't win unless you cheer for them. Schneider and Doherty on the front. Big move by Dan Schuler from the first third of the field, and Schuler's going to drop in. It looks like rider number 81 wants some points, so it's going to be 81, then 32 for 2 and 1. Now Doherty goes on a solo mission off the front, 10 meters for Doherty. We're going to give him 2 points. Then we're going to give 92 Rilski a point. So Brian Doherty opens up the lead by 1 point. He's still on the front, but Rilski closing the gap fast. We'll see if Rilski's got enough to come over the top. He will, so it'll be 92 with 2 and 32 with 1, but Brian still has the lead in the race. Now Rilski opens up a monster gap. And it's going to be the boogeyman picking up 2 more. Doherty picking up 1. So we've got a tie for first place. 2 riders have 5 points each. Rilski coming through. He's in pursuit of 10 points. 2 points, excuse me. So 92 is going to get another 2, and it's going to be 44 picking up his first point of the race. 7 points now for Bogdan. Terzic closing down on Rilski. Now there's only about a bike length separating those 2 riders. Rilski's going to have to dig a little deeper if he wants to get these 2 points. Ooh, very close. 44 picks up 2 in that sprint. So Alex Terzic grabs 2 for 3 total. Still Rilski in the front of the race and on the track at the moment. Buggy's got 8 points. Terzic with a good burst of speed, but it's still 2 for Bogdan and 1 for Alex. Alex is now in 3rd place with 4. 2nd place belongs to Doherty. 1st place goes to Rilski at the moment. But now Alex is in the front, so the Farmstead rider grabs 2 for a total of 6. Rilski now has 11 with that points. And Alex just moved into the second place in the race. Terzic still on the front. Rilski's trying to make a case. I think that's still going to be 44 again. So 2 more for Alex, 1 more for Bogdan. He's got 12. Alex has 8. 3 sprints remain. 2 laps left on the cards, and it's going to be Rilski picking up 2. And Terzic picking up another one for 9. So 14-9 right now. And that looks like it will seal the deal for Bogdan Rilski at the bell. He's going to grab 2 more points. That'll be 16. Alex is going to grab 1 more for 10. So as they roll here in front of us, the final sprint, unless Alex makes the final blast line, is going to go to Bogdan Rilski, and he'll be your race winner. Ladies and gentlemen, winning the opening game race of the evening, the Cold Stone Creamery warm-up, is rider number 92, Bogdan Rilski. And for wisely choosing Bogdan as the winner, and luckily being selected from our bucket, Emma Adler is our winner. Emma, where are you? There she is. All right, everybody get a good look at Emma. She's taking us out for ice cream tonight.
I just picked by the best handwriting.
Wow.
Perfect. You know, that'll teach him.
Must be present mentally to win. Okay, we've got our Cat 4 field up for their first race of the night. We have a number of new riders in this field tonight as well. If you're riding for the first time tonight, make some noise. There they are. All right, let's keep an eye on those guys. They're going to do great. Now I've pointed out where everybody's going to have to be worried about the speedsters. "15 riders. This makes up our biggest field of the evening. They'll be riding a 10-lap scratch race.
There's so much more room for activities. Sorry, it's supposed to be a Step Brothers reference. Can we put our beds on top of each other like bunk beds?
There's the gun, and our Cat 4 field is underway. Michael Waltman up high, rider number 61. Riding for Synergy drops down first. Nathan Lee riding for the Velocity Cycling Club in second wheel. Third wheel belongs to rider number 104. That's Ben Lagerquist. So Waltman opening up a little lead with 4 compatriots. But they've been clawed back into the fold here by rider number 85. That's Eric Dieters. Now Lagerquist on the front. He's going to roll up track. And it's Blake Vandekamp on the front for Taco Cat at the moment. Now David Schuler's going to wind things up for the Gopher Wheelman. David Redinger is going to stroll on to the front as well. So we've got 2 riders who have escaped by about 15 meters or so. 6 laps yet to go in the race. And those 2 riders working very nicely together right now. Redinger riding for the Chilkoot Velo squad. Hands it over to Schuler. The Gopher Wheelman taking over the pace setting responsibilities, and those two riders continue to open up the throttle. 79 Vandekamp from Taco Cat trying to bring things back together. He's got Lagerquist behind him, but it's a single file line all the way to the back of the group. That means this tempo is really high as Redinger and Schuler continue to pour on the gas. Now Lagerquist starting to dig very deep, trying to bring things back together. It looks like he's having an impact. 20 meters now, 15 to close. Redinger drops back in behind Schuler, and we've got our group back together. Nice work by Lagerquist to close that gap down. 3 to go, 750 meters left. And it's been a hot opening scratch race for these Cat 4 riders. 500 meters remain in the race, and now there's a move on the front. That's Dieters out of the saddle. Good time for a long distance run at it. He's going to have to go just 250 meters. And we got sprinting going on down low on the track. Still Dieters, but now we've got to move. And this is Aaron Collins, rider number 90 from the Midtown Cycling. Nathan Lee charging hard to the line. Oh, very close. Great final sprint by both of those riders, but it's just going to go to the Midtown riders. So, ladies and gentlemen, winning the opener for the Cat 4s, he wears number 90. He rides for Midtown. Let's hear it for Aaron Collins.
Can someone yell at that guy who was wandering around in the middle of the track out there with the sprinklers on?
I will pass that message along to the chief referee.
Rider number 107.
Yeah, you didn't listen, so Chris is gonna talk.
All right, so next on our docket is our first qualifying heat for the K-Rin for the women's 1, 2, 3. This is a qualifier for the state championship. We'll have 2 heats, so 3 riders will qualify from each heat and move into the final round to contest the state championship. For those of you who are new to velodrome racing, the K-Rin is a motor-paced race, as you might imagine, watching that Medtronic pacemaker motorcycle roll around. Our field will drop in behind that motorcycle for 3.5 of our 6 laps. And then we'll drive into the infield, and our riders will be released to engage their sprint completely. Down low, selecting randomly, rider number 1 is Carolyn Stanley. Carolyn rides for the Major Taylor Cycling Club. Next to her is Tiana Johnson, who rides for Zulas. Next to her is Aaron Porter, who rides for the Valkyrie Collective. Rider number 9 is Risa Husted from Taco Cat. And at the top of the track is Bree Whitcraft from the squad known as Coachella. So it's Stanley, Johnson, Porter, Husted, and Whitcraft. 3 will move on. There's the gun, and we're underway. The K-Rin rules require Carolyn to take that first position and all the riders to fall in line in their randomly drawn position. So, because she drew number 1, Carolyn is first. Because she drew number 2, Tiana is second, and so on down the line. That applies to the first lap. Once this lap is completed, they will have the opportunity to discuss alternative arrangements among themselves. In a race like this that requires positioning and strength and power. Some riders like to be near the front, some riders like to be near the back. Other riders just like to open it up and race their bikes. 4 to go now, so we've got 1.5 more laps with the motorcycle on the track. That Medtronic pacemaker is gradually increasing the speed so that our riders are up to a sprint tempo when the motorcycle leaves the building. And it'll be this lap, so in just 125 meters, our riders will be free to move about the cabin. Stanley digs deep. She's got an initial move. She's going to try and go the long way. So far, everybody dropping into her draft. Porter and Husted start to move up alongside Johnson. But still, Stanley holding him off. Remember, 3 riders will move on. So of this group of 4, 1 rider will miss a chair in our game of musical chairs here. The bell sounds, and now Porter comes up alongside Johnson. Husted beside her. We're 3 wide in the back end of this group. Now they're starting to move up to the front. Husted alongside Stanley. Stanley's got to keep things going if she wants to stay on the front. She's doing a nice job so far. Oh, very close. I think that's going to be Husted, Stanley, and Johnson. 9, 13, and 271. Oh, I'm getting... And 37, okay. So Aaron Porter moves on. But your race winner is going to be rider number 9, Risa Husted.
Sorry? Well, that's why Bruce is up there. Yeah, she's not usually a judge. And they're teaching Amy. Okay, here's 2 preems for later on. Make sure you give them a good shout out.
Yep.
You can give a shout out beforehand. Say that they're here and thanks for that. They're giving us $60 for each of those preems.
And what is this? And what's
Hops?
Hops? Okay.
Yes.
Yep. No, HOPS.
Oh, only 1 D.
Yep. Okay.
And that's it. So they're the later races.
Okay, got it.
I'll go tell the officials.
Okay, thank you.
But I give me that piece of paper.
We got our second qualifying heat on the line now. Hillary Wild, number 5, down in position number 1. 39, Hamilton in position 2. Schwinn in 3rd position, Dana Zikolski. And Anna Sviden. Can you say that again, please?
After discussion, it's 271.
I told you.
So we got that motorcycle pacing things at a comfortable speed. Our riders are obligated to remain behind that motorcycle. They may not overlap that motorcycle in the first 3.5 laps. And that's Wild, Hamilton, Schwinn, Zikolski, and Sviden. More to go, 1 kilometer remaining in our Karen, and Hillary is going to slide up track and out of that first position. She wants to be a little bit deeper into the field. Now Anna Sviden is going to start to roll forward. So the 2 Zubaz riders moving into a line just above the primary string behind the motorcycle. Now they're going to drop back in, at least Anna will. So a little shuffling of the deck here in our final lap with the motorcycle. Hamilton in control of the tempo at the moment. She's going to play it cagey. She's got her head on a swivel. She knows that danger lurks behind her. Gradually winding up the speed. Still Schwinn in second position. Sveiben now elbow to elbow with Schwinn. Hamilton continues to increase the tempo. 1 lap to go. This is the bell, ladies and gentlemen. Make some noise for your second qualifiers. Hamilton, Sveiben, Schwinn, Wild, and Zukowski charging hard through the south turn. Hamilton still in control. So far, she's gone all the way on the front. Sveiben sitting in second. Remember, 3 will qualify. So Wild and Schwinn right now battling for that final spot. Zukowski coming up hard, but it's going to be Hamilton, Sveiben, and Wild. 39, 4, and 5. Moving on.
I think it's Sankowski.
I was told that it's not that.
Oh, is that so? I heard? Okay.
All right. So as she rolls in, how about some high fives for your race winner, Lindsay Hamilton?
You're back, oh, up here?
Yeah. For him, right? That's what
Yeah, you got time yet, though. It's not true.
No, it's right now.
Oh, for the States, yeah.
Yeah.
He's gonna score points.
Oh,
Would that be
awesome.
helpful if I back in?
That would.
Good.
Rock and roll.
I'm gonna go down and get the things for
Alright, sounds good. This is your share, right?
No, I stand.
You stand? Okay.
So help yourself.
Okay, thanks.
All right. Next on our dance card is the Category 1-2 Minnesota State Championship in the points race. This will be an 80-lap affair. We will award 5, 3, 2, and 1 points every 10 laps. And then our final sprint will be worth double points, 10, 6, 4, and 2. So all the big guns have come out tonight for the points race state championship. I assume you're going to be hanging out for the Fixture Classic?
Yes.
Awesome. Bob assigned you responsibilities, or you volunteer for anything specific?
He's asking me to kind of whip and just help him keep it running, but, you know, I mean, I just want to help however
Nice.
I would be most useful. You know, while I kind of regroup and kind of land.
Yeah.
So,
So we're underway. And right away we've got Andy Keogh and Peter Bem on the front. So the donkey label rider launches a solo effort. Tim Mulrooney, rider number 11, in pursuit.
who is that guy in the front on the lead?
That's Andy Keogh, number 9.
Okay, thank you.
Keogh's got about 40 meters with 2 laps under his wheels. Peter Moore now working to bring things back together. Weisgrim is going to slide up track and put Goldberg into the wind. Now Keogh's going to swing up track. So he's just stretching the legs, really, trying to see who's interested in chasing. Casper's rolled to the front, trying to keep the tempo nice and high. So some of those early attacks, helpful in a number of ways. They can identify riders who are ready to chase, can identify riders who don't quite have the legs and maybe fall off the back. And, you know, if nobody's paying attention, it might be an opportunity to get away. So a lot of strategy goes into those early attacks. And a lot of useful data can come out of them. So now it's Goldberg. swinging up, and it's Charlie Anderson on the front. Casper rolls through one more time. And our multi-time Masters World Champion swings up track, as does Olenicek and Weistrom. Now it's Bem on the front, riding for the St. Paul Bicycle Racing Club. 3 laps to go before our first points are awarded.
Back again.
Now it's Mulrooney on the front. Weistrom right behind Mulrooney. Now Weistrom's got some freedom here as Mulrooney's going to drop into the slipstream. Goldberg's going to join the fray. We've got 4 and a 5th rider trying to get to the line first. Still Weistrom on the front. Mulrooney's second wheel now. Goldberg takes over to 3rd position. Peter Moore, rider number 2, in 4th. Peter Olenicek and Ted Schmidt round out our 6 riders on the front. Weistrom's going to keep his roll going. Olenicek trying hard to come to the line first. Does he have enough track? He does. It's going to be 4, 106, 11, and 6, getting the 4th points. And just like that, Peter Moore launches a counterattack. He's got Daniel Casper right there with him. Peter Olenicek and Laszlo Alberti recognize the danger. Peter Bem trying to get across. This is a dangerous move. Everybody trying to gather their breath after that first sprint. Gives a perfect opening for Moore, who was shut out of the points in that first sprint. But he has decimated the field. With this attack, we've got 4 strong riders in the front, but Olenicek not ready to do the hard work. So Casper says, I got this.
Tearing out the sheet. So it's Peter,
Yep.
Tim, I'm sorry, Peter, Chad, Tim, and Jason.
Yep.
So Peter Olenicek, currently your race leader with 5 points. He's in that front group wearing rider number 4. And Peter Moore, Daniel Casper, and Laszlo Alberti make up the rest of that group. Mulrooney, no stranger to a time trial, pulls the first chase group around with him. Now Casper setting the tone, 65 laps to go. 5 before our next points are awarded. We're halfway to that next sprint. Charlie Anderson takes over at the front of that chase group. But we've got a very smooth team pursuit happening on the front at the moment. Olenicek, number 4, gives the keys to the car to Peter Moore. Goldberg doing his level best to bring things back together. Hands it over to Mulrooney, and they have gradually eaten into this gap. 20 meters now as Mulrooney gives way for Anderson. Just 15 meters left. There's 2 laps to go. And it looks like some of the wind has gone out of the sails of our escape group as Anderson closes in on the rear wheel of Olenicek. Just enough space for Moore to drop in. And we're back together at the bell. Let's put some gas in the tank for Laszlo Alberti. And Peter Moore launches himself from 3rd wheel. That brings Alberti out of the saddle. We're neck and neck as we go through turn number 2. Alberti trying hard to hold off the youngster. And the experienced Masters racer is going to drop in first. He's going to grab 5 points. Then Moore with 3. Then Olenicek with 2. And Peter Bem, 69, will pick up the final points. So 4, 2, 72, and 69.
12.
Number 12, not 72, on Alberti's back.
Yep.
I wondered why it was getting so small out there. I realized that Jeff was pulling people.
So first is Peter with 7, and second is Bobby with 5, and third is Peter Moore with
Chad.
and then this guy is Chad W. Sorry.
So your leader at the moment, Peter Olenichek, with 7 points. Laszlo Alberti sits in second with 5 after that sprint. And we have a tie between Peter Moore and Chad Weistrom with 3 points each. 7, 5, and 3. Now there's a move by Casper, rider number 3. Off to the races, so to speak, with Chad Weistrom right behind him. Both riders competed at Masters National Championships this year. Peter Moore checks the rearview mirror, sees he's got some help to bring back those 2 escapees. And the jailbreak has been reabsorbed. Strong tempo now, trying to keep this thing in a single file line so that the heads of state are in a good position to sprint within a kilometer. Moore eases off the throttle. Goldberg swings out of the way. Nishi Richter, Peter Bem in, and everybody's out of the pool. So Peter Bem, rider number 69 for the St. Paul Bicycle Racing Club, is going to take a flyer. This is a patented Peter Bem move. He's going to see if he can go the long distance. 3 laps to go before the points are awarded. Moore sees Charlie Anderson in the rearview mirror and swings up track. 500 meters now for Anderson, Moore, Alberti, and the rest of the field. And it looks like we're going to go for a bunch sprint this time as we have eased off the gas. Moore's got his head on a swivel. 51 and the bell. Now Moore out of the saddle. He's going to try to take this thing all the way. Olenichek side by side with him. So Olenichek doing a nice job tonight, trying to hold on to that lead. Alberti starts to come up alongside the donkey label rider Peter Moore, but Moore extends his lead right behind Olenichek. It's going to be a hard battle to the line. Ooh, very close. We'll wait to get the final tally. But Peter Olenichek definitely took top marks there.
4-12-2-106.
So Laszlo Alberti picks up 3 points for second. Peter Moore picks up 2, and Chad Weistrom, rider number 106, will get 1 point. And from all the way at the rail, rider number 3, Daniel Casper, launches a furious attack. He's got his teammate Peter Moore about 5 meters behind him. Casper checks the rearview mirror, waits for the help from the youngster. And the 2 donkey label teammates are a dangerous breakaway. Peter Bem trying to get into that group, but he's kind of in no man's land at the moment. This is dangerous time for the field. 47 laps to go. There's plenty of time for Casper and Moore. And in our points race scoring, if Peter and Daniel are successful in lapping the field, they will be awarded 20 additional points. Satchel Nishi Richter on the front of the group is doing everything he can to make sure that doesn't happen. But there's a half a lap separating our field from our escapees. 5 laps before our points are awarded again. So our race leader continues to be Peter Olenichek with 12. Laszlo Alberti has 8 for second place, and Peter Moore has 5 for third place. Fourth place right now belongs to 106, Chad Weistrom. Field working hard to bring these two back together. There's a kilometer before we award points again. And it's still Moore and Casper. Certainly gonna do their best to secure top marks in the sprint. Goldberg trying to keep this thing under control and not let it get all the way away. 3 to go now for Moore and Casper. Mulrooney holding things steady at just under a half lap now. 2 to go, 500 meters till we reach not only the next point sprint, but the halfway point in our state championship. 1 to go. Let's give them some encouragement, ladies and gentlemen. They've got 250 meters before we put points on the board again. Moore now takes over at the front. And coming into this final lap now out of the saddle in the field is Laszlo Alberti trying to protect his lead. Peter Moore, number 2, is going to grab 5. Casper is going to grab 3. Alberti, number 12, is going to grab 2. And Olenicek will grab 1. That's rider number 4. And our 2 donkey label escapees still on the hunt, but the field is definitely started to reel in the fish on the end of the line as Goldberg accelerates, handing it over to Mishi Richter. Moore and Casper doing relentless, smooth, half-lap pulls. Weistrom now trying to lead his Vision Racing teammate Alberti back up to the front. Things are closing in at the top of the leaderboard. We've got Peter Olenicek with 13 points. Peter Moore and Laszlo Alberti are now tied with 10 each. So just 3 points separate our top 3 riders at just over the halfway mark of the event. And Moore and Casper still holding on to that 30-meter gap. Let's call it 40 meters for good measure.
Oh, is that right?
Makes it easier to score, for sure.
It's kind of aggressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Scratch base once, punch base twice, and that's 3 times.
Still 40 meters holding strong for our 2 leaders, Moore and Casper. They've been out there all by themselves for a long time. 3 laps to go. Mulrooney doing everything he can to bring things back together. He's going to give the turn signal and get out of the wind. 500 meters, and now it's Mishi Richter close to bringing things back together. Casper's going to dig a little deeper, see if he can hold the chasers at bay. But at the bell, the hounds have caught the donkey label riders, and they're going to have to work for it. Peter Van rolling to the front, but Peter Moore trying to put himself in first position. Now it's Weistrom launching himself with Alberti in tow. The Vision Racing riders launching a furious attack to the line. Great move by 106 Weistrom. And Laszlo Alberti, number 12. So it's 106, 12, 2, and 69 collecting points in that sprint. And now those two are off the front. We'll see if that's a move that'll stick. Andy Keogh trying to bring those two back under control, or at least make contact. Now they've got three, and Keogh is going to roll to the front. And Keogh extending his lead by about 5 meters. That's going to bring Alberti along. 2 bike lengths for Laszlo, and he's going to close that gap down. So now we've got a pair off the front. Nishi Richter gives the hand signal. If you watch closely, when the rider at the front goes into one of the turns, he or she will often flick an elbow. That's an indication to the riders behind him or her that they're about to leave the front and want to do so in a safe and predictable manner. It's essentially our blinkers. All right, so that last sprint was a good one for Laszlo Alberti. It put him into a tie for first place with Peter Olenichek, 13-13. Peter Moore sits in third place with 12, and Chad Weisstrom now owns fourth place with 9.
Well, we're glad you guys are back.
Peter Bem now decides he's going to launch a move. And bust a move he certainly has, as nobody in the field ready to follow him. Peter looking for a little help from the audience. Now winding it up, we've got Weisstrom. That's going to bring some attention from Peter Moore. Still Bem with a half gap lead. Let's make some noise for the youngster from the St. Paul Bicycle Racing Club. He's out there all by himself, fighting off a pack of 9 hungry wolves. And apparently they're not that hungry, as they're going to sit up above the blue. And at the bell, Peter Bem is going to look confidently to the finish line here. Casper has Alberti and Mulrooney right with them. So Bem's going to grab 5 points. Coming up over the top in our first group is going to be Alberti, number 12 for 3, Casper with 2, and Mulrooney getting 1. So those 3 riders in the chase group will find their way back to Peter Bem. And the rest of the field will drop back in behind Mulrooney. And everybody up to the top of the track. And with that last effort, Laszlo Alberti takes over the top spot of the podium so far with 16. Peter Olenichek has second place with 13, and 1 point behind is Peter Moore with 12. Weisstrom still sits in fourth with 9. Now it's Andy Keogh off the front. Peter Bem quick to respond. Moore looks for some help in the field, gets it from Goldberg, but Keogh still well off the front, 16 left to go. We've got 2 more sprints, 1 regular price, 5, 3, 2, and 1, and the final sprint supersized, 10, 6, 4, and 2. And Keogh rolling smoothly on his own. And the field reconstituted behind Peter Bem. 40 meters or so for Keogh at the moment. No urgency from the field as Weisstrom gives way to Casper. Casper not ready to do any work. Moore is going to roll up track. Alberti makes room for Mulrooney. And that little bit of indecision opens the gap for Keogh. He's now got 50 meters and 3 laps to points. So let's put some gas in the tank for Andy Keogh. Olenichek hands it over to Goldberg. Two laps for Keogh. Nishi Richter has Weisstrom, Casper, and Alberti for help. Still Keogh with the bell now. It's a good gap. We'll see if he can hold it all the way to the line. Don't look backwards, Andy. Just drive that bike. Casper launches in a move right after his teammate. This is a big burst of speed. Alberti's charging hard to the line. Keogh's got some work to do, but Alberti charging right behind him. As we come into the home straight, it's Alberti, Moore, Casper, and Keogh. So 12, 2, 3, and 9. So Keogh set the table, and his teammates came for dinner on that last sprint. Alberti, though, got top marks in that sprint. That's going to extend his lead now to a total of 21. But remember that the final sprint is worth double. 10, 6, 4, and 2 are the available points. Olenichek is going to ease off just a little bit. Nobody ready to do too much hard work until Weisstrom rolls down into the sprinter's lane. Mulrooney in tow. And that single file line returns. 6 laps to go. 1.5K is all that remains in our Minnesota State Championship points race. So Laszlo, number 12, has 21 in first place. Second place goes to Peter Moore at the moment with 15. Third place, Peter Olenichek with 13. And Chad Weisstrom still sits in fourth place with 9. 5 to go, and it's Keogh on the front again. Peter Moore now trying to get some daylight between him and Alberti, but the Vision Racing rider ready to close the gap. And it's going to be Casper weaving through traffic, dropping into the lane. He's got more along with him. We're going to try to establish some position now with 3 laps to go. 6 points separate Laszlo and Peter. So Laszlo can't let any more than 2 spots separate him and Peter Moore in order to stand on the top step of the podium. Peter's got to take at least 2 spots higher in this final sprint than does Laszlo. So watch those 2 riders battle in this final sprint 500 meters from now. Peter Bem doing some work for the rest of the gang. And now Moore's going to get some daylight. We're 5 wide as we go through into this next turn, and Peter Moore launches a vicious move into the home straight. Put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen. Laszlo Alberti trying to keep things close. Olenicek trying to drop in the middle of this thing. Satchel Mishirikta making a case for himself, but it's Peter Moore on the front. Laszlo Alberti sitting in second position. Peter's going to take first. Laszlo will take second. And that's the bike race, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, by taking second in the sprint, he takes first in the race. Make some noise for Laszlo Alberti. All right, next up we will have our Category 3 field contesting some sprints. These will be 3-lap battles. We'll have 2 heats, which means that 3 riders will qualify for the final later on. There's the gun, and in 750 meters, we will have our first 3 qualifiers. Glenn Barr with a great standing start at the top. Pat Whelan right behind him. Bogdan Rilski winding things up at the top of the track. He's going to launch from way downtown with Joshua Schneider in tow. No rest for the wicked as Bogdan Rilski takes control. Schneider in second position. Remember, 3 riders will qualify. Barr, Hamilton, and Whelan trying to find that last spot in the group at the moment. On the front, though, it's Rilski, number 92, and Schneider, number 24. Hamilton now starts to come up alongside Barr. She's going to try to overtake the Chilkoot rider. Still Rilski on the front, holding off Schneider. Hamilton charging hard to come alongside that group, but it's still Rilski on the front, so it's going to be Rilski, Schneider, and Hamilton moving to the final. All right, as he rolls in front of us, your first qualifier, ladies and gentlemen, is Bogdan Rilski. Oh, hey, did you keep that score sheet? Yeah. Thanks. Recaps in the newsletter. We've still got some hot food and cold treats at the Track Shack concession stand, so swing on up to the north end of the grandstand if you're having a little peak of hunger. You can also check out that exclusive Twin 6 Nsc Velodrome t-shirt and trucker hat, available nowhere else in the world but the National Sports Center Velodrome. We'd like to thank our sponsors, All City Cycles, a company of riders making products for other riders. NovaCare Rehabilitation is the proud provider of certified athletic trainers to the Velodrome's Thursday night lights. NovaCare, the power of physical therapy. Twin 6 alternative cycling apparel. Darrow Bike Racks, We Know Bike Parking. The Friends of Velodrome Racing in Minnesota. The Minnesota Cycling Center. And USA Cycling and the Minnesota Cycling Federation.
It's from the same race, right?
And there's heat number 2 of qualification. Brian Doherty and Alex Terzic with the early leads. Schuler sitting in second position. Bellis and Ware rounding out our quintet. And Schuler starts to come up toward the front of the group. He's alongside Terzic. Doherty right there with him. Remember, 3 will move on, and Schuler rolls to the front. Schuler, well-known endurance rider. He's got a long distance sprint. There's 250 meters separating them from the finish line, and it's Schuler, Terzic, and Doherty at the moment in contention for the final. We'll see if it stays that way. Ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be Schuler, Terzic, and Doherty moving on. So as he cools down the engine, let's make some noise for rider number 81, Dan Schuler.
Can you take pictures of the podium?
After this upcoming race, we will have our first, 2 races. We'll have a game race, however, so if you're willing to help. Whoa. What's happening?
Scary kids, scary kids. What's happening here? I'm like, oh no, he's talking about a grid. Yes.
Now we're going to welcome our Category 4 women back to the rails. Slight change of race program for them. They'll be doing a missing out instead of a super sprint. Brenda's favorite race. I think she might be kidding about that. Missing out. Not a super sprint. Who said super sprint? No one. So if you're watching a missing out for the very first time, you're in for a treat. The way this race works is we will gradually whittle our field down to the final 2 riders. Every other lap, we will remove the last rider across the line from the race in a game of musical chairs. So that bell is going to sound every other lap. And then eventually we'll be down to our final 2 riders who will battle it out for the win in the race. There's the bell. And our first elimination will be coming up in 1 lap. Nobody wants to be caught out, so we're 5 riders wide. Big battle at the back right now. Maggie Peterson and Christy Kraus up high looking for some daylight. Down low, Sarah Matson. And Peterson's going to drop down into the sprinters lane looking for some room. Does she have it?
Number 98.
She does not. So Maggie Peterson will be our first casualty. 98, Peterson removed. And that bell rings again. This time it's Schaefer and Von Edge in the catbird seats. Schaefer with about a bike length or so to close. Now Redinger down low. Has room to sprint, but Schaefer's coming up alongside her. We'll see which one of them has the way to go.
102.
So it looks like this time it's going to be Linnea Redinger removed. Redinger That gives us our final 5. And it's Schaefer with Von Edge in her sights. Kraus, Kroll, and Madsen. Now Madsen's going to roll up to the top of the track and look for some help. We're going to be bunched together as we come through for this next sprint. Von Edge with not much room to operate down low, but she's got about a bike length ahead of Laura Schaefer. We'll see if Schaefer has the legs to get across one more time.
18.
Not quite. So Laura Schaefer's going to take 5th place. Von Edge tucked herself nicely down at the bottom of the track, took the shortcut. And our last 4 are waiting for their next chance. Madsen up high, Von Edge down low. Von Edge is going to have to find some daylight. And right now she's boxed in down low. She's going to push the tempo, but she's got to find some room to sneak in front of somebody, and not much room available.
63.
So it's going to be Ashley Von Edge taking 4th place. And because she was back there eliminating riders throughout the race, we're going to give Ashley the title of the honorary devil for this race. So let's hear it for rider number 63, Ashley Von Edge, your devil in the missing out. 1 to go for our next sprint, and it is Madsen with Kraus just below her wheels. Kraus now picks up the tempo to try and come on level terms with Kroll. And close quarters, but it's going to be
101.
Sarah Madsen taking 3rd place. Not a bad result for her first night of racing here. Getting on the podium in one of her first races, a result anybody can be proud of. One more lap before our final elimination, and it's Kroll opening up a gap on Kraus. So the Corpse Whale rider continuing to stomp on the pedals. And ladies and gentlemen, your missing out winner is going to be rider number 28 from Corpse Whale, Brenda Kroll. Okay, we've got some work for you.